Hello again to everybody and welcome back to the channel. This is Boots and Bounty Homestead. I hope you like the name. Finally figured one out. Took a little while. But there is an update I want to show you real quick before we get started on this video. Alright, so if you've been following us, you will remember that we had the little incident with the cherry tomato where the barrel was not draining and we thought we was going to lose it. I think that was my first video where I did the one about, listening to your plants talk to you and tell you things. So I just wanted to come over here and give you guys just a little update. Alright, so here she is. We've got a few dead leaves here. Those can come off, no big deal. Not going to hurt anything. And she's got a little discoloration here. Just to where it was too much water. The top is beautiful and green. Doing super fabulous. Got a lot of blooms. And looky there. She's got a baby. So she's doing great. Just to show y'all real quick, there's my other ones. That's the one where it got topped and I had to leave that sucker growing. So this is the new plant and it's already got a few blooms on it. Oh, and there's a sucker there too. Let's go ahead and get that off. Alright. My other ones over here real quick. They got their blooms and their babies on them. Alright. Alright, so I'm over here in Emma's herb bed that she's doing, and I wanted to do a quick video showing you guys how to dry herbs in order to use them in your kitchen. You can also use them fresh anytime, but I wanted to show you a couple of the ways that we dry herbs and that I've tried and that I've researched, so that way you can make your own decision on how you want to dry your herbs. So the first one I want to talk to you about is in my kitchen sink garden. And it is thyme. This is just a regular, I believe it's Italian thyme, and it gets very big and bushy. I keep mine trimmed down a whole lot. I just come out and just grab it and then just cut along the bottom. Keep it about 1 inch from the bottom. That way it'll start producing even more. And if these limbs right here, if they happen to lay on the ground, they will actually root. And then you can actually cut that off and make another plant if you would like. Other than that, these have a massive root system on them, and I have tried to move this one and the roots have actually filled this whole side of the sink in. I'm surprised they hadn't started coming out the bottom yet. But the other day I come out here and I saw that it was getting pretty wild, and I cut all of this off. So it's a couple days old, and all I have done with this is I just laid it on a paper towel until I got ready to do this video. But I wanted to show you how I process these herbs and then go through different other options that you have of processing herbs. Alright, so we brought our herbs inside. This is my preferred method of drying these. Is you're going to take a small bunch that you've cut off, and I try to cut them off and kind of keep the little bunch together as they've been growing. So you want to keep the ends together and try to keep as much of them as you can towards the end. Binder clips are wonderful. What you want to do is put a binder clip across the end of it and then leave these up, because I'm fixing to make decorative curtains. And what I do is I'll come over here and I'll have this is where we usually hang our ornaments for Christmas, our yearly ornaments that we collect one every year. So I'll leave these tacks up, and it fits nicely on these binder clips, so you can hang them. So that is all I do, is I hang them up there. It takes a couple weeks to let them dry. You don't want them somewhere that's going to be in any kind of traffic, because if you have a lot of wind, the herbs may start falling off, and then you'll end up with a pile of herbs underneath your little new herbal curtains. So I'm going to go ahead and do these real quick, get these hung up. And then I also pulled some oregano the other day. I clipped it as well, and I'm going to get that hung up. and then I'll come back and show you guys what it looks like. Okay? Alright, here's the herbs hanging up. And now we wait a couple weeks. I will show you some I've already processed real quick in the kitchen. Alright, here's the herbs that I processed last week. Emma did them for me. They hung for 2 weeks, and then after they're dry, you just pull them off the stems and put them in any empty container. And as you want to use them, you just rub them through your palms of your hands, and they will they'll come apart while you're cooking. And if you want to leave them whole, you just throw them in there. You can go ahead and grind them up beforehand and put them in containers, or you can just store them like that. Alright, so some of the other ways that you can dehydrate your herbs, you can actually use a dehydrator and do it on 95 degrees, which is the lowest temperature setting on dehydrators, and usually takes about 24 hours. So just turn it on, put it on low, leave it for 24 hours, and then come back the next day, and then you can process them for storing. Another way that I have tried, which I do not really care for, is putting them on a paper towel, put them in the microwave, and do it for 10 seconds. Do it for 10 seconds, take it out, check it, do it for another 10 seconds, you know, keep doing it until they're all dry. You will have to take some of the smaller, thinner ones out as they do process, because you will actually catch them on fire. Your paper towel can catch on fire, and I do know because I have done it. That's why I quit doing it. I don't need herbs just right now all the time, so I have time to hang them up and let them process just with the alligator clips. That's just my preferred method, so you guys can do whatever you like. And now I have a new herb that I'm actually going to do for the first time. I'm going to process it, get it dry, so I can actually make something out of it. So I want you to go along in this journey with me, and let's see how this turns out. Of course, you'll have to come back in a couple weeks, because it does take 2 to 3 weeks for it to dry, and we'll check on it then. And this wind is getting crazy, so we're fixing to go harvest it so we can get it processing. Alright, so I've got my little helper today. Logan's actually going to do it. Alright, so this is the big comfrey plant, and we are going to dehydrate these leaves. Yes, the bigger ones. And and we're going to make something later out of them. I'm still trying to figure out what. Leave me some stems so I can hang them up. Yep. Alright, so he is going to get these clipped in my new little basket. Yeah, get the bigger leaves and cut them down a little bit. Alright, so I will bring y'all back in just a few minutes. Alright, here's our comfrey leaves that we got. Pretty massive. Big suckers. Alright, now all we're going to do is, we'll have to go through here and kind of clean these up. You don't want to get them wet. You kind of just want to brush all the funk off of them. And this is just garden debris, because I haven't put anything on these. It's just what the wind has brought up to us. So we've got to knock all this stuff off, get them all cleaned up. And then I'm going to do like I was doing the other ones and use the alligator clip, binder clips, and get it hung up in the window. So I will show you that as soon as I get done. Alright, we are back. And here's the comfrey. Thyme. And some more comfrey. And I have oregano that is on a paper towel I forgot to hang up. Let's see. Where did it go? Look, I got basil. Basil, you just use the leaves on them, and they're so big that you can lay them out. Basil is one of the ones that you can attempt to do in the microwave. Or you can, and there was one other thing I forgot to mention. You can do any of these herbs in the oven. Just leave them overnight on a rack, kind of like this, and leave them in the oven with the oven light on, and it keeps it just about the right temperature. And you can let that sit overnight, and then they'll be ready for processing the next morning. Sorry, I made a mistake. This one is the oregano, comfrey, oregano, thyme, and the rest of the comfrey. My bad, I was driving myself crazy trying to find it, and it was already up there. So I've showed you how to dry your herbs, how to hang them, and I gave you a couple other options with doing them in the oven, doing them in the microwave. There's other ways that you can preserve your herbs if you don't want to dry them. If you would like to keep them fresh, you can lay them out on paper towels and roll them up. Put it in a Ziploc bag after you've washed your herbs. Wash them, lay it on paper towels, roll them up in like a log, and just do paper towel, herbs, paper towel, roll it up like a log, stick it in a Ziploc bag, and it'll keep for a couple months in the refrigerator. Another way you can do like your basils or kind of like your herbs you would like to oil infuse. You can actually have some melted but not scalding hot grease or olive oil or some kind of lard, and put your herbs in with that, and then store them in the refrigerator in that oil. And so people can keep them in the refrigerator, and then whenever you get ready to cook with them, you can take them out and just put it straight in the skillet, and then you'll be cooking with your oils and your herbs all together at one time. And there are other ways, like I said, tinctures, there's different medicinal purposes, and I'm not going to get into all that right now. I just wanted to get into some quick storage and drying with you guys, and just kind of show you how to process it, just to get it out of the way, because a lot of times you'll be cutting a lot of herbs at once, and you can't cook with them all at one time, so you need a way to store them. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of advice and give you a few options on how to process your herbs. And I guess that is all for today. I think I went through everything, showed you everything hanging up, and I guess we will do another video tomorrow. So God bless, and we will see y'all later. Bye.